Welcome back to the channel. Or if you're new here, well, just let me say hey, and I'm glad you landed here today. Talk is cheap, right? I mean, we all know those people who say one thing and then they do the complete opposite. And if we're honest, sometimes that's us too. See, words are powerful. They can tear us down or they can build us up. But there's something even more stronger. And I dare to call it's a superpower. It's not what you say, it's what we do. See, your actions, your reactions, and the way you move through life has so much power. That's where the world sees the impact and change that God has on our lives. Today, we're going to unpack how we can harness this superpower to light up the world around us one step at a time. Stick with me. Hopefully, this will fire you up as much as it does me. So let's start with our verse today. Matthew 5:16. Let your light so shine before men that they may see your good works and glorify your Father in heaven. One sentence. But oh man, it's a game changer, right? See, this isn't about preaching from a soapbox or having all the right words. It's about living in a way that radiates light through your actions, your reactions, your choices, the way you show up every single day. Imagine if your life became a walking, breathing testimony of God's love. That's what we're aiming for today. When we think of power, maybe politicians or billionaires come to mind. People who make laws or move money around. But as a follower of Christ, filled with the Holy Spirit, you've got something even bigger. You've got a superpower that doesn't just influence, it changes lives. Politicians may control the systems, but your actions can change the hearts. See, the way that you respond to a rude comment, the way that you lend a hand when no one's watching, the way you keep shining, even though life gets messy, that's power. And here's the best part. It's already in you, waiting just to be unleashed. All it takes is a choice to let our walk match our faith. Let me paint a picture for you. A while back, I was at Kroger. I was standing in the checkout line with a lady in front of me. She was a little bit older than I was, had just scanned her last item. It was a jug of milk. Well, the total popped up, and then she slid her card in and beep, it declined. Well, she tried again. Same thing. You could see the stress just creeping in her as she just started digging through her purse. Well, I already had my card in hand, so I stepped forward, slipped into the reader, and poof, transaction done. The cashier handed her the receipt, and when she turned around and saw what happened, she just started crying and just welled up in her eyes. She told me she's been going through a really tough patch in her life, and that small act just meant the world to her. Now, I could have easily just said, hey, Jesus will get you through this, or I'll pray for you. And those are great words. But in that moment, the actions spoke louder than words. I call this walk talk opportunities, which are their chances to show God's love, mercy, and grace, not just by talking about it, by doing actions. That's how we become the light in this dark world. One simple move, and suddenly someone sees a glimpse of hope that they didn't expect. I know you might be thinking, well, man, that sounds great, but I'm not perfect. I'm messed up all the time. Well, guess what? You don't have to be perfect to shine. God's light doesn't depend on you having it all together. It shines brightest through your effort, your heart, and your willingness to try and even try again. Think about it. Staying calm in chaos or holding on to hope when everything's falling apart. Taming your temper even when you're justified to snap. Standing bold in your faith even if it means just standing alone. That's your superpower in action. People will not remember every word you say, but they will never forget how you made them feel. When your actions point them to God, That's when lives start to shift. Matthew 15:16 isn't a rule to follow, it's a rally cry. You've got this incredible light inside of you. It's ready to cut through the darkness. I mean, literally, it can spark hope in someone who's lost it. It can turn heads to something eternal and show the world what God's love looks like in real time. You don't have to wait for big moments. Those walk talk opportunities are around you every single day. Helping a stranger forgive someone who doesn't deserve it. Posting something on social media that lifts people up instead of tearing them down. These are the sparks that light the fire. So here's my challenge to you today. Let's make today the day that you own your walk talk opportunities. Pick one area in your life where you can just unleash the superpower in you. Maybe it's your job. How can you bring light to your coworkers? Maybe it's your home. How can you show love in a fresh way? Or maybe it's just on social media. Can you post something today that inspires someone just to keep going? Start small if you need to. A smile, a helping hand, a prayer that you actually follow up on. I pray that today and the rest of your tomorrows that you decide to embrace your walk talk moments in your life. I'll catch you in the next video. Now go out there and release your power.